What up, though, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up, Though show. It's your boy, Dame D, and I am back with another one. Today, we're going to be talking about being 50 years old and raising a toddler. Definitely has its challenges. I'm going to wait for a few people to jump in, and then I'll go in and get my commentary on. So I'm going to make sure you guys can hear me first and foremost. And what up, though, to everybody? Hopefully, everybody had a great Valentine's Day last night. Hopefully, everybody was safe and had a great night, most of all. Hopefully the love is still in the air. So right now I'm just checking to make sure you guys can hear me. So what's going on, man? Like I said, how was everybody's night last night? Hopefully everybody had a beautiful night with their loved ones, their boyfriends, and their significant others, I should say. Their Valentines. What's going on, man? Okay, so I can be heard over on Facebook. So we are good. So yeah, just want to check in and chime in for a little bit, just talk about the difficulties and the challenges it is raising a toddler over 50. I got mine over here with me right now. So we're gonna just chime in and just top it up a little bit about that. Listen, it can be very difficult, especially at the age that I am now, chasing and running around and trying to entertain a toddler. It can be very very challenging, so just wanted to come on for a little bit and talk about that. Yeah, man, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of a lot of time, and just a lot of what's the word that I'm looking for? Of involvement, because pretty much they want you to be involved with them at all times of the day. My son, he's pretty good with playing with himself, and that's one of the challenges too, being a single kid, you know what I mean? So all day long, is just trying to find entertainment for him and trying to find things with him, so I just wanted to come on for a little bit and talk about that. I was just sitting here down here chopping it up with him while he's watching this TV. And I was just like, you know what, let me go live, because I actually wanted to do, start a show like that, fathers over 50. So if we have any fathers over 50, I want you to tune in, chime in, and just give me your thoughts, give me your opinion. Give me some what's the word that I'm looking for? Not words of encouragement, but some tricks and trades of how to entertain your toddler. He's pretty good with the tablet and entertaining himself and playing with the toys. So I'm trying to stay updated, trying to keep myself fit, that way I can run around and chase him around all day. But I'm gonna switch the camera over to him. But this guy, oops, my bad. This guy never sits still. Say what up, though, Damon. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see him, but he over there watching his little tablet, playing around, jumping around. You may be able to see him now. Yeah, but like I said, man, you definitely have to keep yourself physical fit in shape to be able to run around and chase a 3-year-old. It's definitely challenging, but I'm up for the challenge. So I just want to tune in and chime in and just chop it up with you guys for a second. How was everybody's Valentine's Day yesterday? Hopefully everybody had a great day. Hopefully everybody was able to spend time with their loved one and just had a great day. But let's talk about the challenges of raising a toddler over 50. It's definitely challenging. My son keeps me busy, all day long. The comment section is definitely open. I got a few comments that I'm getting ready to read off. Joesph Knowles agreed. Joseph J. Knowles said agreed. Yeah, man, it's definitely a challenge. And trying to keep entertain your toddler, your my 3-year-old. So I just wanted to chime in and chop it up about that. But Joe, man, what's going on, man? Did you get that thing going on yesterday? You said chime me in. Okay, if you want to come in, I can bring you on in. I'm going to bring you on in. Here we go. Yeah, because I looked up and I was looking to see if I had saw. I'm getting ready to send you a link too, Joe. So right now I'm just sitting up here talking about the challenges it is trying to raise a toddler. I was just sitting here looking at my son and I'm like, a toddler cannot sit still for no longer than 10 seconds, depending on what you have them doing and how you're entertaining them. But I sent you the link, Joe. Come on in. You can chop it on up with me this Sunday afternoon, I should say. I was about to say this Sunday morning, but yeah, like I said, I want to wish everybody a happy Sunday afternoon. Hopefully everybody had a great last night with their loved one, their Valentine, whatever you want to call it. But Joe's getting ready to come in. He had an interesting topic about Valentine's Day last night that got a lot of attention. So I'm going to bring him in and we may discuss that for a little bit. He had a lot of people on his head, in his comment section about the comment that he made last night. So if Joe comes in, we'll talk about that for a little bit. But yeah, give me you guys just give me some of your stories. If you are an older man, what challenges have you had trying to raise a toddler? Here's mine right here. He's all over the place. But yeah, okay, we got Joe getting ready to come into the building. What up, though, Joe?
What up, though?
Not much. What's good? What's good?
No?
Vacation?
Huh?
Yeah, I say, are you still on vacation?
Yeah, we up north.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Hey, you stay
yeah,
on
we
the
up north.
road. That's a good thing.
Man, that's what I work hard for, man.
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
Hey, dang,
go ahead.
that Valentine, what is it, Galentine? What is it called?
Yeah, so
Galentine?
look, before you get started, let everybody know about the comment and how everything started.
Well, listen, I originally thought that Galentine was for people who cannot get a, s- a spouse or get a date. That's what I thought it was for. I thought it was something that single people made up. I didn't know that it was going to take it to a level it took it yesterday.
Yeah,
It
that
is,
was crazy. The comments, and I mean, boy, they went in on, but
boy.
it
Let me tell you
definitely
something.
go ahead. I'm gonna let
It's
you explain to everybody.
yeah. So I made a comment on Thread about you could follow on there, and it's been going nonstop from yesterday to this morning. It hasn't stopped. So far, I have over 100,000 views just on that
Right.
thread, just from yesterday, and um 80,000 just from the last 12 hours. People just looking at it, and it just we got a guy on there who I think he trying to start contact on social media. So he called himself the red pill killer. So he says that he attacked. His job is to confront men who attack women.
Right.
I,
So was that
and
the
I
guy who was making all the
he didn't want.
comments?
Listen, he messaged my wife,
Oh
and it
wow,
was
yeah. And sent was that the one who sent her the message?
yeah,
Okay,
and
yeah, that was crazy that he
that
did that.
that's
Stay over there,
feminine.
Dana.
It's feminine, but I'm cool because I think what I did, what people would consider that feminine too. But I'm cool with that because I didn't realize how much attention it draw from what he did, And I look on his page and he's a contact. He trying to
Right.
build up contact, but
Okay, well, go on ahead and finish explaining to everybody about the original comment that you made, and then just all the comments that came pouring in after that.
So the comment that I made was, let me read it exactly what I put on there, just so I want to make sure I get it correct. Can you still see me?
I cannot.
Hold on a second. I get my tablet.
Yeah, because I want you guys to give your opinion on this comedy you made, because it like he said, it had over 200 and some thousand views and a ton of comments that came
Yeah.
attached with it. But like I was explaining to Joe, that's the territory of this social media stuff. When you put content out or you make a comment, therefore people is going to be able to make their opinion and their comment on what you said.
So I
Don't come
said,
over here, baby. Stay over there and watch TV.
Galestine is made up holiday for women who don't have a man. Yes, be honest. Instead of turning singleness into a celebration, how about use the energy to actually improve yourself and become somebody worth choosing? And it wasn't to attack just women in general. It was just attack the ones who would rather celebrate with other women instead of getting themselves a man.
Right.
It was that. It was just I seen so many people just on social media in general taken away from Valentine's Day. It was supposed to be a day where you were supposed to have a man at home and he's supposed to be doing things for you. But I seen
Right.
so many women that get too comfortable of just being by themselves and too comfortable and being with other women instead of getting themselves prepared to be a wife or be a girlfriend or just have a significant other. And you got a lot, and mainly you got a lot of women who call themselves married and and celebrating and stuff. So they said to me, now I'm on I don't want a mini. It's not a real vacation like out somewhere out the country or anything, but it's somewhere where I'm not at home.
Right.
So and they said, well, you got time to put this on here. Then you must not enjoying your vacation. So you just took the time out to bash women. I'm like, my attitude is, damn, you got time to respond to me. You ain't
Right. Yeah,
got
because I
much
saw
going
that. I'm
on
like,
either.
that doesn't make sense. If he made a comment and you guys are commenting off of his comment, why would you try to bash him for, basically responding back to what you said to him?
Yeah. And I got
Yeah.
time. Listen, listen, I got time. I got plenty of time. But listen, so I'm seeing, for one, I'm real disappointed in the guys because the women are supposed to be destroying me. And let me tell you something, they destroyed me. Okay? They destroyed me.
Yeah, it was a lot of hateful comments in that comment section.
Ooh-wee.
So look, I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Give me your thoughts on the statement that Joe made. Do you think it was a valid statement? And let them know. Give them the statement again, Joe, that you
It was
made on
us.
Threads.
I just said that Galentine is a made up holiday for women who don't have a man. And let's be honest, instead of turning singleness into a celebration, how about using that energy to actually improve yourself and become someone worth choosing?
Right.
Now, again, I didn't know that it was mainly that it was a celebration for women to celebrate each other. But I hit a nerve. And
Yeah, you definitely did. Because when I saw that, I immediately, well, actually, when you sent me the screenshot of the
yeah,
messages or whatever, I immediately went over to the threads and made a comment on your page. But yeah, the comments were definitely coming in. They were flying. And that right there is, when I told you, I'm like, you definitely need to go and start your page right then and there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
While you had all the comments and things coming in, that was an excellent time for you to do what you needed to do. But yeah, man, a lot of people, it ruffled a lot of people's feathers, um, especially women. And it was a lot of men in there defending women on that comment. Because these
But
are, I think that Valentine's Day to me is a day for a man and a woman to show their love towards each other. And I understood what you had said at that. A lot of single women take that day to take. I'm not going to say take advantage of certain situations, but it's a lot that comes with that day with men spending money and time and things like that. So a lot of people got offended with that comment that you made yesterday, boy, and they were all over you in that comment section. So yeah, I would love for people to be words of place, Joe, where people, if they want to indulge in a conversation with you, let them know how they can actually go over and see that comment. That way they can actually see exactly what we're talking about.
well, it's on my thread page. It's the same as my Facebook. So and the same as my Instagram. So my Facebook is Jojo Dodo, and you can see that on Instagram, and it's same on thread. And people comment. I would like to talk about that on your thing and kind of go through some of the comments because I want people to understand
Yeah, go
that
ahead. I'm allowing you to go ahead and talk about it and go through some of
you
the
know,
comments.
and I will share this on that thread. I want people to see it. because it's apparently people just really attached to the status. I don't understand why it's a big deal, but um, yeah, I got a lot of hate. So they taking. It's funny, y'all. See, it gets nasty. They take pictures of me and reshare my pictures and say or how I look and all this other stuff. And I'm looking like I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'm
Right.
not. I'm winning in life. I don't think people really understand that. I'm winning and winning. I mean, so it's funny to me that people will go out their way to do all this, and once they realizing that I was supporting them cooking me, it kind of slowed down like immediately.
All right.
And I don't care about that stuff. So yeah, you got guys, and that's the part that trips me out more, not the women, because I expect women to act emotional. That's what God made them to be, emotional creatures. It's the guys that feel the need to be the Captain Saber. You know what?
Always Captain Save a Hoe, ass
You
niggas. They
don't
always feel like they got to come in and save the day. And
what?
make a comment I'm not going to say that's irrelevant to the statement
Yeah,
that you made, but they always got to come in and try to be Captain Save
your
a
your
go.
job, your job, your job as a man is to be a Captain Save your wife,
Right.
Captain Save your girl. I'm not going on Facebook and defend other women against men. My job is to defend my wife,
Right.
and that's it. I ain't going out here to defend other women out here. They should have a man and a protector to defend them. I ain't doing that. That's not my call. So he
Now
thought
I want
the
to
guy.
ask you this question.
Right.
Do you think Valentine's Day is for single women, or is
No.
it or is it or should be celebrated for couples?
So you got a lot of people that commented on that page and said that it is for women to celebrate each to the love their life, their friends, their family, their whatever, whoever they love. It's a women to celebrate each other.
So hold
Valentine,
on. So you had women commenting on that saying Valentine's Day is for women to celebrate other women.
no, that's Galentine.
Okay,
Galentine.
Galentine's Day. I'm like, what the hell?
Val- Valentine's Day is for the man to, I think, is Valentine's Day was for a man to share and spoil their woman for that day. I do that
Right.
shit on a regular. I don't need Valentine's Day to do that. But I do it. I honor that made up holiday because that's a thousand comments said it was made up. Get that part. But it's supposed to be Valentine's for a man to express himself or his love for his woman. Galentine, which I criticize, it's never been Valentine's. I only criticize Galentine because what we keep doing is changing the goals. You're supposed to be getting yourself ready to have a man to spoil you, but yet since you're not, my opinion, this is what I took it when I wrote it, is that you too lazy enough to get yourself loved by a man, so you just recreated a new thing like transgender, recreated a new thing and made it about you now. Instead of you having somebody to celebrate you, you made it where you celebrate yourself. And I just
Right.
don't. I get it. It's still all made up, and people can do what they want to do. It's just like, damn, we just getting lazier and lazier, getting somebody. So people are attacking me. I'm gonna tell you some of the things they were attacking me about. It's funny. They was attacking me about the way I look, my beard not connecting.
Yeah, they were going in on them comments, boy. I read a lot of those, and it was very entertaining.
Let's
That you had a lot of people that had a lot to say about
yeah,
you know the statement that you made.
yeah.
And a lot of the men knew that the statement that you made was an opinion statement. But it was actual factual, in my opinion.
Hey, listen, Dave, how much do you read? You read a lot of it.
I read a lot of the comments. The one that got me was and I'll let you read them out. But the one
I
where he
can read.
was like how we gonna take a word for a man? Something about pigeon toed. Oh yeah, something
No,
about the leg day. Yeah, pigeon toed
yeah.
and missed his leg day.
Hey, listen.
Boy, they definitely was going in.
Hey, one of the women said that I need to continue uh boxing shelves or some shit at a convenience store. And she said, one lady was like, I work, make way more money than you. I said, you probably do. I don't know. We ain't a big bank take, little bank type of thing.
Right.
But she was like, yeah. So look, you got people that's asked me, and me and my wife still together. You got people trying to attack my wife. These are women. The same women who defend Galentine are the same one that were trying to attack my wife. You see how
Right.
hypocritical. You see how
Exactly.
hypocritical. You saw how hypocritical it was. I love it that more because that's the thing with women. They don't have a backbone to stand on. The man is the backbone. So they don't have a backbone. So when you leave them out open, they just go whatever the wind takes them. You criticize me by attacking the Galestine thing, but yet you take a shot at my wife. It
Yeah,
makes
because
absolutely
that was the
it,
only
it
thing.
makes
That was the only thing that and I told you this earlier.
yeah,
The only thing that people can attack you is pictures that you personally put out. And they'll
yeah.
try to bring your wife and say things like that. But you got to have a thick skin when you're making
Oh
comments and
no, no,
things
no, no,
like
no,
that on
no.
social media.
I told people to continue with the cooking
Right.
because it was funny. It was funny. I got you let somebody that you don't know to get in your head and make you go way out to do research on somebody that you don't know. That let you know that I won. I won what I accomplished what I needed to accomplish. And that's what social media is. And I'm learning this is that nobody cares. Like, damn, you put a lot of positive things about people getting hurt, crime, robberies, and mothers with 13 kids taking advantage of of social media, lying up their ass about social media. And people care more about the drama aspect of it than actually caring about the support and
The
helping each
actual
other.
story, yeah, because just like how you said with the women that I did the story
Yeah,
on, with
yeah,
that were living in a house with 13 kids with dog feces and human feces.
yeah,
I actually tried to make that a positive story, and it went totally left, and people were more
yeah,
drawn to the drama
yeah.
that came with that, after, we stopped the GoFundMe. So, but yeah, man, social media, that's what people want to see. They want to see a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
controversy. They want to see a bunch of arguing and yelling and cursing and things like that. I try to stay away from things like that, over here. We try to put out a message, we try to put out something positive over here. But, sometimes that's what people want to see, man.
Yeah, and then you got people that was that, and because of my comment, they willing to go. Well, we report you to your job. I'm sorry, that's not gonna work. I don't understand
Right.
what you're thinking. We union. It doesn't work like that, you
Right.
know. But at the end of the day, I realize is that the only time women have womanhood or they sit together is only when it hurts their feelings.
Right.
Y'all don't do this in no other way. I don't see the support with each other when y'all come down to building. But when it come down to a man who's made a comment, just my comment, y'all want to go there.
Yeah,
Uh,
because was it a lot of, do you know if it was the comments that were made by the women, if those were single women that was commenting
so you
back to you?
have you have a lot of people saying who's married. Like they say, I'm married. A lot of them say I'm married. Some of it is explaining themselves. That's the funny part. You explaining yourself to me. I don't even know you. The hell you explaining yourself to me for? So she said, "Well, it's not that I don't want to be in a relationship. I choose not to be. That's not the truth.
Yeah,
But
when I hear that, I'm like, that means
yeah,
you've been a problem. That's why you're
yeah.
not in a relationship.
But you got guys who pretty much was just trying to win points for women to try to maybe get. I think the guys was doing it. I think some of them were actually cared, but I think a lot of them was just it. Was I don't think there's as many guys though. But regardless, the man I noticed that's on here. Like one guy, he says that he's a cook and whatever, and I'm just thinking like, and he said I take care of my wife and every level of wife. level way possible. I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay, cool. What they got to do with me saying the other women to get their shit together so they can have someone that can take care of like you take care of yours? That's all I really was saying.
Right.
But you got a lot of women on here. They look like they married. Some of them say they married. Some of them say they're not. Some of them tell me to stay out of women business.
Yeah,
um,
see that, and that's
lot,
crazy, man. That I couldn't believe all the
yeah,
comments, man. That's why immediately when you told me that, I'm like, you definitely need to take that and run with it. Start
yeah,
your page and go from there, man. Because like I said, that hey, I take all the smoke.
yeah.
I would definitely take all the smoke, that
And
they had to offer to you last night. But yeah,
so,
man.
yeah,
You know, um, just by that comment that you made, it ruffled,
a lot
in
of
my
women
opinion,
everywhere.
single
Women.
women, because I guarantee you a lot of those women and a lot of those men that probably made those comments were single men and women.
And the other women, and I'm noticing too, you know, I refuse. The one thing I would not do, and I make this very clear, I don't believe in, attacking women saying they ugly or you are out of shape. I don't do all that stuff. They do it with me easily, and I'm cool with that. But I don't do that with women because I feel like that's beta male energy when you attack a woman. Um, Especially if you debating someone or you having a disagreement with someone, and then you attack a woman by how they look and how cute they is. Now I might keep my comments to myself, but I don't believe in just trolling them in that way. Um, I think that's kind of weak. So I would never scoop that low
Yeah,
and do that.
that's the only, and that's one thing that our people do have, a problem with, if they don't agree with your statement or your comment, they'll
Yeah,
go to try to attack your opinion, your appearance, or they'll go try to attack your family members, like your loved ones. Like the same thing with what Corey Holcomb did with your boy Anton Daniels, a few
yeah,
weeks
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
He instead of directly attacking Anton Daniels, he went on to attack that man's wife and child. So that's something, if you don't have anything else to bring up or say, that's the first thing that someone that doesn't have any information about you or don't know you personally, that's the only thing that they can say. So you have to just, like I said, have tough skin and take that
yeah.
with a grain of salt.
But I will say this: some of the women that was commenting on my page, I can see why you don't have a day on Valentine's Day. Like real talk, I can see. But I would never single handedly point it out with them. Which one I feel that way about, and there's a lot of them actually. And I didn't need to do that because it's the reason why you comment on my page. You part of the 2,000 people that comment in an hour. Is the reason why you didn't have you have just like I had time. My life is so bad. I got time to comment on my page about stuff. Is the reason why you comment on my page too. You strolling through the thread and comment on my page too. So I guess we there for the same reason.
Exactly. And then especially the ones that were saying, you're on vacation with your wife and you got time to comment on that. I'm like, look, it's Valentine's Day for you too. And you make a comment.
Yep.
So you
So
can't have it both ways. But yeah, man, I thought
yeah,
that was a great introduction for you to be
yeah,
able to introduce yourself to
yeah,
social media. You know what I mean? So what I advise to you is, today or once you get back off of vacation,
yeah.
start your page up, man, and go from there. Because it's going to be definitely very beneficial to you, and then people want to hear what you have to say, Joe. You're a very
I
articulate young man, and people love hearing from, a person that has a lot to say, and then a lot of people were attacking you over this, your whole stance of your political stance too, and I,
yeah.
I hate that.
But you know what? You can be a good guy and be a Democrat. You can be a good guy and be a Republican. You could be a good guy and just choose not to vote. What is me voting? And I said it clear. I don't care. I'm a Republican. What did I got to do with me being a decent person? And I think people confuse the fact that Trump is who he is. And a lot of people automatically categorize us all anybody who voted for a Republican or Trump. Let's just say Trump. then you already a bad person. You are no good. You a pedophile. I got some of those too on there. That I'm a pedophile.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
deep.
like
And what
because like
kills
both
me is when black folks try to attack Trump. But I remember, like, before he got into this whole political thing, um, Trump was one of the main names that you heard in rap lyrics. Trump this, Trump that. I want to be. You know what I mean? He was a main.
I'm the black Donald Trump.
Yeah, exactly. So people, now all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
yeah.
since they don't like his ideas or his ideology or whatnot, now they're trying to talk down on him or on people that supports him. So I don't get that. I don't understand that. We have to stop that as a whole. You know what I mean? Because like I
hmm
said years ago, every mainstream rapper was talking Trump or had him Trump in his lyrics.
And just and more than that, if I this is where I push back to even the women. It seems like a lot of women and guys who hate Trump. I gotta ask them, where was your life better when if Trump the enemy, he's the worst thing in the world. Okay, cool, I can accept that because he has did and said some things that's is questionable, right?
Right.
I concede to that. But I got a question I gotta ask you. Was your life really was situations, was our finances, was rent, was our bills, was food, was it really better without Trump in office? Okay, it's not
Yeah,
better
and
when
when
he
you
in
and when
office.
you ask people that
Before him.
exact question, um, they can't. They'll go around that question. To try to avoid answering the question. Because like you said, you know, um, with the statements and the things that's listen. I've always been a Democrat my whole life.
Me too. Me too.
But for the most part, what Trump is doing and why I'm with Trump, it's a lot of people, that feel the same way that I feel. He's been keeping me working. He's been keeping food on my table. And keeping a lot of thousands of UAW members and workers working. You know what I mean? So
hmm
I don't have a problem with Trump. I don't have a problem with a lot of the things he's trying to do with these with the whole ICE thing and the illegal immigrants. Now some of the things may have been kind of fucked up, like how these ICE agents are handling the situations. But I
Yeah.
understand, what he's trying to do with that.
So I want to say this. Back in March, I'm just rehashing it again. I just when we was I went to the White House and met the Trump administration. And I don't think, and this is what makes me so mad about the UAW members because people are so stuck in their hatred. Now you got that one guy that called Trump a pedophile at the Ford plant. At one point, I want him to lose his job because we got to start having respect for our leaders. But the other part of me is kind of glad he didn't because that tells me that the UAW do have some fight in them and they do have some type of leverage over these companies. So I'm
Right.
happy on both ends, but I don't think people really understand what the Ford, GM, and Chrysler or Stellantis was actually doing to our jobs. So that I'm gonna tell you this, Damon. I don't think I told you this in an interview. When I first, me and my wife, she's right here. When we first went into the White House, right? I'm in a table full of all these people. I'm in a family of the Leakin Riley family. I'm in the Border Patrol family. People who got killed by immigrants and Mexicans that's from Mexico that killed some of our border patrol and shot at our border patrol. I'm at the table with all these people who got affected by illegal immigrants.
Right.
I'm the only guy at the table. Oh no, it was three of us. It was a guy. It was the head of the steel union that was at the White House. It was me from the talking for the as a worker of the UAW, and then you have other families that was victimized by illegal immigrants. So let me explain to you who was at the White House. I'm gonna say this again, and I hope that if once because I'm gonna help keep sharing this for you to hear the side of the drama from yesterday. But I particularly want the UAW members to understand this. This is seriously. People only hear. what they hear based on regurgitated information that you might hear the UAW put on their page. You might hear some of your local union members were saying. But when I was there, the head of labor talked to me. And it could be, I don't know if it could be verified. People could actually verify it or not, but people really do their research, you probably find out. But it was Stellantis, Ford, and GM was there. And these people, and I'm not lying, Stellantis, they know I was there. For sure, they know I was there. But the thing is that they was really trying to convince Trump to take the tariffs off so they can reposition the companies. Ford, GM, and Chrysler wanted to take all the businesses, not all of them, most of them, because some businesses like Ford is so ingrained in the U.S. they can't take it out the country. But Stellantis and GM, I don't think people understand this part. I'm saying this, and I'm saying this on record. Stellantis and GM wanted to take away most of the production in the U.S. and take it to Mexico.
All right.
And the thing that people don't understand, I know people gonna call me a liar. I was there. I was there at the White House. So I know what I'm talking about. They told me this. They wanted to take the business out. Do you know why, Damon?
Go ahead. I'm listening.
They did it because they didn't like the position that Sean Fain, and I'm saying this on camera, they didn't like the position that Sean Fain did in the negotiation from the last collective bargaining agreement.
All
They
right.
didn't like how they was willing to shut down GM Ford. Remember that GM and Ford got shut down. They plants.
All right.
Their main plants got hit. So Ford and GM and Chrysler did not want this to ever happen again. They wanted to take the power from the UAW in the 2028 election. Collective bargaining, I'm sorry, collective bargaining. They wanted to have control again. They felt powerless in the last strike we went through. They made a vow that was not going to allow us to do that again. And how do you prevent the
That the
union?
union won't be able to shut these major plants down. Is that what you're saying?
They no, it was more than just shutting the power of the plants down. They didn't want the union to be able to have negotiation power again.
Okay.
And if Trump did not get elected, this would make me a fan of Trump more than anything else he ever did. If Trump did not win, we all of us, and I ain't gonna say all of us, but I'm gonna say more than half of us union members right now will be out of their job in 2028 because
Yeah.
Stellantis and GM and Ford was starting to start production on assembly plants that building these vehicles in the U.S. into Mexico. They were slowly going to move the product out the country, and
Yeah,
it
and
was
then
the
not only
honest
that, what
God
a lot of
truth.
people don't realize, it wasn't the Republicans, it was the Democrats who actually put this in law to stop
Yes.
the productions of, the V8s and the gas engines and whatnot, who
Mm-hmm.
forced the big three to put these electric cars in production that pretty much put us in a situation where we probably going to see probably zero to no proper sharings this year. We're still trying to, get back from that. So
Yep.
what he did was, and I kind of lost my train of thought. He kept us working, because with all these electric cars and stuff was getting ready to come in that production, like you said, Joe. A lot of this shit was getting ready to go to Mexico,
Yes,
Canada,
it
and I forget
was.
the other country. We would have been out of jobs.
Yes, we've been out of jobs, and
And
these are
a lot of people, especially black folks, don't understand and realize that, especially a lot of the UAW members, he's the reason why
yep.
we're still working.
And I know that it's hard to believe that because we've been programmed to believe that the union was doing it. Union was powerless. That's why we was getting laid off. That's why we was getting laid off the way we was getting laid off. First of all,
Brad,
it
not to cut you off, but Brad J6MI, and I'm probably tearing that up. He said, just like John Deere did. And I think that
and
was a
that's
situation where they went up under.
hey, listen, and I'm glad he brought up John Deere. What did John Deere do first? They hurry up and ship them damn jobs to Mexico before Trump got in office.
Yeah.
Just look at when John Deere was made an announcement that they've sent 2,200 jobs to Mexico. When was that done?
Right.
When was that done? And that's gonna let you know what the motive was. The big three was following the suit of John
A
Deere,
John Deere,
uh,
yeah. So
and
that's what a lot of people need to
yep,
realize, that, especially a lot of the UAW workers, that, if it was not for Trump installing what he did, most of these companies that we work for, they would have sent a lot of their major production overseas, and therefore we would have been laid off, out of work, looking for work.
and I didn't. You know what? And it's funny because
See, and
uh,
Brad J, and I'm probably saying that wrong. Brad JZ 6MI said, "I bet they regret that shit now." Yeah,
who regret it?
probably John Deere.
John Deere don't regret it, and I'm gonna explain why John Deere don't regret it. They have already moved their stuff to Mexico. So what they are going to do is slowly bring it back, but they are willing to pay that tariff right now. It's too hard. I don't know what you know what, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't even followed through. Uh, I haven't even followed through to see what John Deere. Can you look up right quick and see what John Deere if they have any what they doing now since Trump been in office? I haven't been following through. The UAW got more power now because of what Trump did. Trump, even though Trump is not pro-union, I want everybody to know that Trump is not pro-union. He's not. So I would not act as if, oh yeah, Trump pro-union. No, that's not why he did this. It's if you bring manufacturing back to the U.S., it raised the economy up. It makes more. These billionaires can make more money if it stays in the U.S. And Trump and everyone else can make more money. And in
Right.
return, we benefit from that because we get to keep our 6-figure jobs. I don't think people understand this. The big three is a 6-figure job.
Yeah.
These are not 20, 30, 40, $50,000 jobs. This is $100,000 job. If you just do your minimum 40 hours a year, you come home with $100,000 a year
Yeah, and what people don't realize is, with
for
those
all
jobs,
three.
if those jobs would have been taken away, the economy, and where we reside at, well, in that tri-state would have just, it would, most of these cities would have been looking like Flint.
Yes. And guess who it hurts the most though?
Go ahead.
It hurts black people the most.
Yes. And that's what people
Because
don't realize, because when Flint, when all those, when the factories went down in that city, look what happened to that city. That was a thriving, city, before the plants and all that stuff went down. And look at it now.
Flint
It's horrible, and
was
this would have been the
was
same thing that would have happened here in Michigan, if we would allow, for the Democrats to allow for these companies to ship, their the companies overseas, their main production.
man, and most of us do not have college degrees. We don't have any
Yeah.
extra trade or anything like that. And
Imagine
this
what
is
that would have did to most of these UAW workers that was making six figures, and you get laid off or your job is no longer there.
yep.
Imagine trying to, having a job that's paying over 40 something dollars an hour, having to start over maybe with a job, because like you said, most of the people in there probably do not have degrees or anything to fall back on, so a lot of those workers will be going back to minimum wage jobs and things like that. Who would, that would ultimately hurt the economy more than it would have helped us. You
When
would have the
I'm
middle class basically going back to, I'm not going to say poverty, but it would have been a totally different bracket.
I don't give a damn if Trump and you remember that monkey comment when he posted Obamas as monkeys. Was it
See, and I
was it
still need, how true is that? Was that an
okay?
actual fact? Was that true that he made that comment?
I'm going to make it quick. Trump is not on social media and is writing things on social media. Every person with power like him or status like him, they hire a social media team.
Right.
His social media team share something that Trump asked him to share, but in the same time, he also was going to post something regarding to the cartoonish AI um, whatever social media thing where he had somebody written an AI. Trump team liked it and was going to share a clip of it, but where he ended up showing just the part that Obama's were monkeys. But if you really watch that video, you will saw that Trump was monkey. He also put Biden as a monkey, and people just only highlight the fact that you called Obama's monkey. When I saw
Right.
that, I thought it was pretty distasteful until I watched the whole video.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let me say this, man. Look, people got to realize at the end of the day, um, we say a lot of things about, the president too, that
Yeah.
mainstream media never hear, but you got to realize, his opinion should not affect what he's trying to do for the American people. Like I said, he's keeping thousands of jobs for,
Hmm.
not just the UAW workers. He's trying to keep these American jobs for the American people to work. And people need to realize that, because without that, we will be, like I said, Detroit would be looking like Flint. So people have to realize what he's doing to try to keep, the middle class people working, and
And
that's it,
I,
So at the end of the
I
day,
won't.
his opinion, about whoever, should not overlook what he's trying to do um to keep jobs here in America, and that's how
And
I
I, and
look
I,
at it.
and I tell people this, and I get so mad with people who just so focused on your like. You do not need to like your politicians. You supposed to be voting for someone that's going to continue to put you in a position where you can take care of your family. That should be number one in your decision of voting. My number one thing, and when I'm voting for a politician, is not who I like. It's the one who is going to put me in a position so I can continue driving my nice ass truck that I drive every
Yeah,
day.
that's going to benefit you and your family.
Yeah.
Why
And
would
then
why would I continue to vote for a democratic system that was getting ready, to take my job away? And
yes.
usher a whole new, demographic of a job in that was getting ready to take, not just, me, but thousands of, UAW workers was getting ready to be out of work. We need to realize that,
Yes.
you have to put your pride behind you, at the end of the day, and go with what's feeding you and your family.
And that's what I care about. So if Trump
Yeah, me
says
too. At the
something,
end of the day, I
if
might
Trump,
not agree with 100% of things that Donald Trump say and do, but at the end of the day, he's a businessman, and he's
mhm.
keeping these businesses over here in the U.S., up and going and running.
And the part that I'm getting mad at people at because you care more about your feelings than being able to put food on your table. Long as I can keep putting gas in my wife's nice truck and I can put gas in my nice truck and I can continue going out of state when I want to, visiting and traveling and being able to afford the basic things of having a good life, that's what I'm gonna keep voting for. And it doesn't matter to me if he doesn't have. And you get a lot of people say this. Well, you look at his staff, you don't see a lot of black people. Well, I'm sorry. A person like me that was at the White House, I got to meet the Trumps. I got to meet the people that's in the White House. I got to meet people in Congress. I'm sorry. There's a lot of black people that's running the show. You just don't see them because you looking for a face.
All right.
And tell me when it has a face, of black people been the face of when you see politicians as the face, like black people being the face of politicians, the first thing you see is black people. Tell me how that has benefited you. Tell me how that had made your life better because you don't see the face of a black person that's always on TV or Trump advertising his staff as you don't see a black face there. You automatically think that he doesn't like black people. Tell me when we do have a black face, how that benefit us.
Right. And I'm gonna read a
Tell me when
comment.
that
John
benefits you.
Sanders made a comment. He said, excuse me, you two guys, I don't have my glasses on. Publicity stunts didn't affect the Obama, Barack, and Michelle are still tight friends with Donald Trump. And Brad JZ6MI said tariffs and bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. is a strength strengthens USA and isolates China. This includes snatching up I can't even now. I can't even see that. Matero,
Let me see.
Greenland, cartels in
Okay.
Mexico, all that. He's trying to stop China. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with what Brad just commented. I'm going to show that. I didn't I don't have my glasses on, so that one word I probably didn't pronounce right. But yeah, I agree
Uh,
100%.
oh, Maduro.
Yeah, Mandura. Okay, yeah. But yeah, that's trying to stop all that. Trump's trying to stop all that shit. With these
And
tariffs. And what people really don't realize is with these tariffs that he put in place, it is stopping these companies from taking their businesses overseas. Or that's manufacturing their shit overseas and trying to bring it back here. Is going to tax them so high to the point where people
it
just
can't.
won't
It
buy
don't
that
make
shit.
sense to break. Yeah, and
Exactly. So that's what
you.
people have to realize.
So I'm just going to be honest with everyone. I am a little discouraged though because I have noticed that a lot of people are getting laid off from jobs from all different areas, and I'm gonna tell you what's really worries me is AI because I think
Why you
AI
say
is
that?
because AI is taking a lot of jobs. You got
Yeah.
Amazon laid off about 26,000 employees. You got other manufacturing companies laying off.
No,
Um,
but tell me why you think AI has something to do with that, though, Joe.
because a lot of them jobs was done by humans. And remember that everybody plays a role into this economy. So we losing spending power. And if everybody laid off, who is going to be able to afford to buy what we make as a union and what other people make, and do? So I'm concerned about that. This AI is eliminating labor. It's eliminating a dollar.
I guess what I'm saying though, but tell me how AI can eliminate labor that that it takes for a human being to do. So tell me how can AI replace a job that it would take human labor to put out
So
to
my
be able to do.
wife,
I should say.
so I'm not going to tell exactly what my wife does, but it is for social media. My wife does stuff that deal with numbers and money in some of these in businesses. So if I know that my wife's job, AI can do it eventually. I'm not
Right.
saying
Well,
that
and something
it
like that
can't.
that's dealing with numbers and computers, yes, a lot of those people probably will be, fearing for their jobs in the near future. But I'm talking about things that,
But
that
that's
you actually have to physically do.
but that's what AI is. AI would never replace physical.
Right.
Like it can. In our market, AI can fix that. Can do that too. It can machines. That's AI. But what I mean is that if everybody who has some of these desk jobs that can be done with AI, that's spending power.
Right.
They
No, and
can.
I agree. And Brad, Jay-Z 6MI, and I'm probably tearing that up. I'll just say Brad. Brad
Yeah.
said paper pushers and number crunching middle management will be affected by AI. Now, I agree with that, because that has nothing to do with physical labor, just has everything to do with, numbers and pushing paper. So a computer definitely will probably be able to take over, and a lot of people probably will be, out of jobs. And that's crazy, because a lot of people went to school and got degrees for a lot of these jobs that AI eventually probably will be taking over.
Yep. And that's the part that worries me. Because those are the ones who buy our cars. Those are the ones who spending the top dollars. And if we don't have those jobs there to buy what we do, it's going to slow the market down. And I just don't know if that's necessarily a good idea, with this AI. So that makes me nervous. It makes
Yeah.
me nervous that these companies are laying off in mass numbers the way it is. And I do know that in the beginning of a new, government, and it takes a couple, 2 or 3 years for things to get rolling again after new laws and new policies take place. But I am nervous though. So it makes me a little nervous. So I'm
Yeah,
not.
and I can see and I definitely understand that part of the working class, that a lot of people probably would be nervous about their jobs, but but yeah, man, we'll have to put something in place to be able to what's the word that I'm looking for to be able to keep those people working too. So hopefully, some type of solution or idea will be able to come up where AI won't be able to put people like that who have jobs like that, accounting jobs and things like that. Because you're still going to have to be hands on even with jobs like those like that too. So
So and I'm just doing what everybody should be doing. I'm trying to figure out a way. Me and you were talking about it. We're like, we got to come up with a way to make some money on the side now, or have a solution, a back. We got to come up with a
just
what's the
some.
word
I,
I'm
I
looking
get what
for?
you're trying to say. Something to fall back on, just in case.
Fall back on, yeah,
This whole UAW um, auto industry go up under. So yeah, man.
yeah. We
So
gotta,
look, I told you, you already got to start on. What you need to do. You have a
yeah,
voice. You got a lot of people wanting to hear what you got to say. But man, yeah, just this conversation alone, you know, um, is a great conversation to start and talking about, because like I
yeah.
said, going forward, man, a lot of people in that field, that's working human resources and things like that, they're
Yeah,
gonna
that could
be
be AI.
yeah,
AI, yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
So
And they're gonna get on that line with us.
yeah.
They're gonna have
So
to do what
yeah,
we doing.
man. Look, I definitely we definitely Damon. See, and this is why I started the conversation being 50 years old and raising a
Yeah.
toddler. That's the
I,
original title. Come here.
I
I'm getting ready to
I know
go up under there. Come
I
on.
know you,
Watch
I know
me
you
here.
getting about to be done a little bit, but I'm about to ask
Yeah.
you.
So look, I'm gonna bring him in. I'm not gonna hold you on too
Okay.
long.
All right.
I know you are still vacationing, with the family and
Yeah.
whatnot. So I want to thank you for coming on. Damon, look, we on the show. You can't be too loud. Say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. Yeah. So look, I want to thank you for coming on again, giving everybody your thoughts, your opinion
hmm
on the whole Valentine's Day thing.
Yeah. We
At
can
the
talk
end of the
more
day,
about it.
man, give everybody your last words, your opinion, and your thoughts on just the whole Valentine's Day thing.
Listen, my stance is I understand now what the women, they're gonna defend each other. I understand, but listen, go get you don't do the spend time with your spouse. Spend time with your woman. You know what I mean? It ain't that serious. It's just a comment. Don't take it so personal. What are we doing for? What are we doing all that for? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sharing this. I'm sharing this, but I appreciate all the response and all that. It's not personal. I enjoy every bit of it. I understand now that social media do have control of us, and we get on our feelings. And I'm learning that about social media, though.
Okay. Well, look, let everybody know where they can reach you, Joe. Let everybody know what you got going on.
Same thing. You can reach me. I'm going to set up a YouTube page eventually. I haven't got a chance to it. We've been too busy yesterday, but I'm going to set it up, and we're going to have more conversation like this. And that's coming soon. But until then, Jojo Dodo, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Thread. Go look at that Thread
And
comment,
I'm gonna read
though.
another comment. Brad said, "I am a USW member for 15 years now, and I doubt my physical job will be replaced anytime soon. But robots are coming down the pipeline. And I talked
Hmm.
about that, and not to, and
Yep.
I'm getting ready to end the show, but I agree with you, Brad. And I had a conversation with my brother about that. Because he was, a lot of people are seeming to think that computers are going to. I mean, robots are going to totally take over the auto industry. I'm like, I understand that, we do need robots for certain jobs, but you're still going to have humans needed for certain jobs. Robots will not take over, every single aspect of the auto industry, in my opinion.
But it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot off, though.
Yeah,
Because,
because just some of the stuff that we actually do, with the wiring, I don't think robots can actually get in there and do a lot of that stuff. So,
agree. But
we'll
one
see
thing,
going forward though.
and I'm going to say this. This is for all the Mopar people. Mopar jobs about to get cut more than half. Because Stellantis, I don't know, look it up, y'all. These are for the union people. That look, Stellantis got a AI, which is the robots, to do most of Mopar jobs and they can do 10 times the workload. They can do, they said 100 times. They can do 100 times the workload that Mopar employees physically can do. And it does what what they do in 8 hours, they can do in 2.
Oh wow. And
So that
yeah.
new Mopar that's getting built in Detroit is going to eliminate most of the Mopar jobs in 2028. So, Dame, look it up. I'm
Yeah,
telling you the
man.
facts.
Hey, look, I advise you, Joe, to get your page started, man, get up and
Yeah.
going, because this is going to be another great conversation to have. Like what will people do, in situations like that? Just with the Mopar situation, So, will even trade schools be something that people in the future, near future, we'll still be doing, meaning with AI taking over all this shit. You know what I mean? So those are going to be great conversations
Yeah.
to have going in the near future.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I advise you to get your page started. It's going to be a lot of great conversations, great talk. And once you do, man, you got a lot of people like Brad. He's in a pretty much same field that we're in.
Yeah.
That will probably come over there and
Okay.
have great discussions with you. And Brad, if you are not a subscriber, make sure that you hit that subscription, man. These are the kind of conversations and talks that we have over here, trying to, put out informational, great informational, that'll be information that'll be able to help, each and every one who's watching this, So that's what we try to do over here, and like I was telling Joe, man, definitely, people would definitely tune in and would love to hear what you have to say, man, because you put out a lot of informational, you put out a lot of great information that people can take and apply in their lives.
Yeah, for sure. It's not
Yeah.
a mess. It's just social media. Let's just leave it like it is. But yeah, we're going to have more conversations, though.
Yeah,
Appreciate you,
I
Dame.
think, I
Appreciate you.
think it's gonna be a great thing, man.
Appreciate you, though,
Yeah, but
man.
look, I don't have anything else to add, man. It was a great conversation.
Definitely.
The title was actually being 50 and raising a toddler is definitely a challenge. It is. I got my little one chasing me. I'm chasing him all over the damn house, trying to stay busy, man. And I'm definitely gonna have more talks about that. But I want to thank Brad for his comments, and again, I want to thank everybody else who commented on today's show. And
For sure.
again, I want to thank you, Joe, for coming on, giving us your opinion, giving your thoughts about this whole Valentine's, Galentine's thing, and the whole
Yeah.
UAW auto industry. We're definitely heading, I think, in the right direction this upcoming year. You know what I mean? So hopefully it'll mean good profits for the company, and we can put a lot of this, 25, 24 shit behind us. You know what I mean? And just move
Yeah.
forward and try to make some money. Hopefully we'll make a lot of money this year, and we'll get back to how things were like 3 years ago.
Yep. That's the
Yep.
goal.
So look, I'm going to go on ahead and end the show. It was a great discussion,
Good
chopping it up
thing,
with
man.
you guys. Hopefully you guys took some information out of this show. It's been another one. It's your boy Dame D, and I am out.
Peace out, man.
Peace.